was the process. So now we're doing a new process.
30 days.
All rise.
Seated.
30 days.
We are trusting the process.
We are here on 23 CR 7. Kenneth Hobbs, final hearing violation of community control. Violation, positive test for amphetamine and methamphetamine, January 22 and 26. You understand that charge? You understand that charge?
Yes.
Okay. The other
Sorry.
one, April 18th, attempted to submit a urine screen, not your own. You understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fatika.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've discussed this case with Mr. Hobbs. I believe he's going to accept responsibility for his misconduct, and we'd like to resolve the violation today.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what's your plea to those charges?
Let me plead.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Did you do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guilty.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. What are you doing?
Your Honor, I just also, first off, I want to appreciate you for sending me to mental health because I did have some issues that I never knew before. And so they gave me depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. I was going good. I'm adjusting. They told me to trust the process. I'm adjusting to my medicine. It's working. I'm going 3 times a day to meetings. I just got Zoloft, some antidepressant, anxiety, and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just been overwhelming. So the last time I was around people, you know what I'm saying, like, and I thought, you know what I'm saying, like the secondhand smoke and stuff was gonna give me a dirty, and I'm like, I came too far, and I just didn't want to risk it. As you see, it didn't work right, you know what I'm saying, so, but I just didn't want to risk it, and I just, you know what I'm saying, like, submitted a fake, well, tried to anyway, you know what I'm saying, but before then, I was doing good, and everything, I was trusting the process, like my psychiatrist said, like, she been working with me. I just got on the meds. I'm just not starting to be able to deal with the anxiety, starting to deal with depression, that everything is not, you know what I'm saying, like always gonna be negative, it's always gonna go bad and stuff like that. So if we can just trust the process and just keep me going to the programs and keep me on the medicine. I just started getting the medicines. I just started getting.
When did you start going to Signature?
I started, well, when I left her last time.
Okay.
And then a psychiatrist diagnosed me. They said I had depression.
Which psychiatrist is it?
Mrs. C. I got Michelle as my counselor, and Mrs. C is the psychiatrist lady.
Okay.
And then it's like a whole bunch of other people I see too. It's a lady who do the classes. I forgot what her name is. Yeah, they did the psychiatrist part. They did that first, and they did they put me in the programs for 3 hours, 3 times out the week. Then I go see him once a week. Got my probation officer and what's name once a month. I still got my mother and my sister, so it's been overwhelming. And she just keeps saying, trust the process, things gonna change, you know what I'm saying? Your mindset, your thinking gonna change. And working with her has been really fundamental for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really would like to be able to stay around and trust the process, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect beyond any means, you know what I'm saying? And I know trying to do that, you know what I'm saying, was the wrong thought process for me right there. But I was just trying to.
What medication you taking? Anything besides Zoloft?
I'm taking trazodone. I'm taking one with an A, some long name with an A, and another long name with a B. If you know the names off the hand. Yeah.
Okay. You take it every day?
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to. I just started taking it. I just got the Zoloft, but the other 3 I've been taking every day.
All right.
And it's been working, but you know what I'm saying. They said it take a minute for it to start kicking in your system.
Okay, so the meth stuff and the amphetamine stuff doesn't mix well with that stuff.
Right. That stuff is out of my thought process, my mind process is totally, you know what I'm saying, like different, like trying to move forward. And I just gotta do what she keep putting in my head, trust the process. So I'm hoping the court can trust the process, and we can just give me a little bit of time to work it out, get the medicine in order, finish going to these classes.
Well, if there's one thing I trust, it's the process, as long as the process is good, okay?
Right.
So,
It's been going good
But-
so far.
but
And I've been having clean urines all the way up to the end, you know what I'm saying? Like, no funny business or nothing like that. Like, and I've been coming every time, like, you know what I'm saying? Remember we had the problem with me having to get here. I've been taking the bus up here every day, every week.
Where you living?
I stay out in Euclid. I've been taking the bus out here every week. I've been going to Signature Health 3 times out the week. I've been going to my probation officer down in Cleveland once a month. My mother still got lupus and cancer. I still take her, you know what I'm saying, to where she got to go. My sister still got Down syndrome, so and I still got my dog too, you know what I'm saying? I got to walk every
All right,
time.
so you got a lot of stuff going on.
I got a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes it's overwhelming. The depression medicine and anxiety medicine working, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they said let it start working. They said like it don't kick in just
You
immediately.
may have to adjust it too.
Right, they did that too because they just added the Zoloft.
So, but when you screw around with the other stuff, it's gonna,
Right, that's
all
what
this
messed
other
up my
stuff
thought
you're
process.
doing is gonna be for nothing, because it'll screw everything up, okay?
Right, that's out the door. Like now, I'm
How long
trusting
has you
the
been
process.
in, Dave? 13 altogether on this?
13 altogether, Judge.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna, keep you on community control, 13 days of credit for 13. Keep up with signature and do whatever they tell you to do, and stay off the bad stuff. Stay on the good stuff.
Yes,
Do what you're supposed to do, because you got a lot of shit you gotta do that ain't gonna get done if you're screwing around, right?
yes,
So the same terms are in effect.
okay.
Anything else, Mr. Tompkins?
No, thank you.
You're Mr. Fatika.
Sorry, I was anticipating.
We can switch for the day, I guess.
All right, get back to doing what you're supposed to do.
All right, and again, I think.
control. Violation, first violation, arrested by Westlake PD, December 9 of '23. Charged with resisting arrest amongst other things. Ended up with a plea of disorderly conduct on March 7th in Rocky River. You understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second, tested positive
That's
for
true.
cocaine. April, you understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fatika.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've discussed this matter with Mr. Cooper. I anticipate that he's going to waive his probable cause and final hearing. He'd like to resolve the violations today, accept responsibility for his misconduct here.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what's your plea to those charges?
Guilty.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. So what's going on?
Life is just hitting me hard, you know. A few weeks ago, my wife got a lover, and one night I asked her about it. She got mad at me. She called her lover to the house to pick her up. I was begging her to stay, and she went off with her lover. And I didn't know how to take it. Well, I just had a mental breakdown. I used a substance, and I wanted to overdose because it was so much on me, on my heart, that I couldn't stand to go on. 8 years of marriage. And I just couldn't take it that well.
So when was this?
A few weeks ago, I really don't know the time, but I just know it was like a few weeks ago. Like I've been messed up since that happened, and I've been trying to, get myself together. I'm working just to keep my mind off this.
Where are you working?
At Spring Cove,
How long you been working there?
for a few months. I'm a forklift operator, and I'm pretty good at it. They like me.
How'd you get that job?
Well, I got it through a temp service.
Okay.
And
Are you still with the temp service or they hire you?
I'm still with the temp service, but
Okay.
the HR, I talked to the HR and let her know about my situation,
Okay,
and I guess they wanting to hire me back, but I don't know if that position is gonna be there in 30 days or whenever, but I'll just call, if I can get released soon, then I'll call and work that same day, because I need to get my mind off of my
did
wife.
you, back a year ago, did you get a drug and alcohol evaluation?
Yeah, with the treatment program,
What did you do? Where did you go?
Morris Counselor, then I went to Your Recovering Counselor. I have a personal counselor that I talk to with Your Recovery Counseling.
What's the agency?
Your Recovery Counselor
Where's that located?
in Beechwood.
Your Recovery?
Yeah, Your Recovery, Miss Galloway. And I talked to her, I told her about my situation. I've been trying to seek help, mental help, to get me through this with my wife, because this is really just, it's breaking me down mentally. And like, I wanted to check myself in the psych hospital. I got me some anxiety pills, depression pills from the ER. Like, I don't have a doctor that I can just go to. I just check myself in.
What is Your Recovery place? Is that just counseling or is there a psychiatrist there?
I mean, it's therapy, counseling. They do the drug treatment. I guess they do it all. But I have been talking to the person, Miss Wendy, a personal counselor, for the last few weeks, and she talked to my wife about what's going on. There's no way that I can work it out that I wanted to work out. But I guess she found someone that's better. They can have a better job. I just want to get myself together stop worrying about her, and I'm just crushed. 'Cause stuff happens after it happens, and I just want to be productive and do what I can and do better and do good.
Where are you living right now? Still in South Euclid?
Yeah.
All right. Is this your recovery place? Do they do, you know about them, Ms. Crook? What are they,
Yes.
what are they?
It's run by a woman who used to work for Lake Geogga Center. She ran Oak House in Nevaeh and left and opened up her own place. And they do not have psychiatry though.
Okay,
So they'll do individual counseling, they'll do drug and alcohol, IOP, things like that, but they don't do the prescribed medicine part.
okay.
Yeah, I got the medicine from Cleveland Clinic when I checked
When did you get that?
a few Saturdays ago.
2 Saturdays ago?
Yeah, like last Saturday, I think, when I checked in. You know, because I wasn't feeling well. I was still having, thoughts. My heart was beating fast, and I just checked myself in that Saturday. Like I worked third shift. And
How long you been in jail now?
since Thursday, last Thursday. And it's been-
7, Jamie, 7 days?
It's been
8 days, today would be the 8th day.
Okay.
I've been thinking about this, that situation, how my wife just laughed at me with her lover and just left the house when I was begging her to stay. I was begging her to stay. And that's just really crushed me. I wish I would have never did what I did, handle my anxieties a little bit better. But I have been talking to my friends and Mr. Taylor. He's gonna help me out mentally, get me back in church, and just get my life together. Like I just want to get myself together, and I'll do anything. Like she filed for divorce, I heard yesterday, and we got property, and I just don't want to lose out on something that I worked for 8 years, just off of my mental breakdown. And I can come here every Thursday and drop urine, whatever that you need, just to show myself that I can do better, that I can, maintain my anxieties and this addiction, whatever. It's not an addiction, but it was just stupid of me of doing, and I wish I would have handled it way better than I did. And it's just really hurting me right about now because I'm losing out on an opportunity at my job and money, and now my wife want to divorce me. I could lose my house and all the aspects.
All right, so there's certain things you can control, right? There's certain things you can't control. And it sounds like you can't control whatever actions your wife is gonna take. But you can control how you react to it. You can control going to work. You can control dealing with the counselor and the drug and alcohol problems and not taking the drugs. So you have to control what you can, and you have to deal with what you can't. And dealing with what you can't by snorting some coke doesn't work out very well.
I wanted to overdose. Like, I really just wanted to kill myself.
All right, well, you gotta get it together, okay? Because,
8 years. 8 years is down the drain.
yeah,
And
well,
I tried.
well, it's just what I said. You gotta control what you can control and deal with what you can't. So if you let that eat at you, you're gonna end up back here again. Mr. Fatika?
I would just add, and again, Mr. Cooper touched on it, he was working full-time, third shift. He has a valid driver's license. He reported this isn't a situation where he tried to run. We'd ask that you continue him on community control.
All right. I'm gonna continue you on community control. give you 8 days with credit for 8, no drugs or alcohol with screens. Continue going to your recovery and follow those recommendations. And you may want to have them refer you to somewhere where you can get prescribed medication. Maintain full employment, pay the costs and supervision fees. So I'm going to let you deal with your problem as best you can deal with the problem, okay?
Thank you.
But I've said this twice now, I'll say it one more time. Control the things you can control. Deal with the things you can't as best you can. And you can't deal with it by falling back on old habits, right?
You're absolutely right. And that was a stupid idea for me, and it really hurts me. It really hurts my finances, my livelihood. Like, I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna definitely get it together because it's all on me now.
All right, with the exception of this nonsense in Westlake, you have kept it together for a year, right?
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for you not to do it, okay? It's not gonna be easy, but you gotta do it.
Yeah, it's not easy. Just 8
All right.
years.
Thank you.
23 CR 0000956. The defendant is present in court with defense counsels Thomas Marinick and Matthew Ziccarelli. We are here for purposes of a change of plea hearing. On January 19th of 2024, the defendant was indicted with a 9-count indictment by the Lake County Grand Jury. Pursuant to plea negotiations, it is my understanding that today the defendant wishes to withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty to an amended count one amended to read attempted felonious assault, felony of the 3rd degree, in violation of revised code sections 2903.11A2 and 2923.02. Count 6, resisting arrest, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of revised code section 2921.33CA. And count 8, possession of a fentanyl-related compound, felony of the 5th degree, in violation of revised code section 2925.11A with the attached forfeiture specification. Upon the court's acceptance of that plea, the state would move to dismiss the remaining counts in the indictment and ask for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Thank you.
All right, I'll amend count 1 to attempted felonious assault. Mr. Marinick, go ahead.
Your Honor, I have obviously received the change of plea offer and have discussed it with my client. He's here, his mother and father here in the back, and I've talked to my client extensively about this. He is ready, willing, and able to plead guilty to the amended charge and the remaining, the resisting arrest, the possession of fentanyl, and a forfeiture specification. He's been explained to him his constitutional rights that he's giving up, to have a trial, to confront the witnesses, to have the state prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, and he's willing and able to go forward this morning.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lucas, how old are you?
Your Honor, I'm 23.
How far did you
Stand
go?
up.
How far did you go through school? You can remain seated.
I graduated high school.
All right, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prior to coming to court, have you taken any drugs or alcohol or any prescription medication in the last 48 hours?
I take Wellbutrin and bupropion
All right, when's the last time you took it?
this morning.
All right, does it affect your ability to understand what's going on here today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you get a copy of this indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it's been represented to me. You're going to plead guilty to the amended count 1, attempted felonious assault of felony 3, count 6, resisting arrest of felony 4, count 8, possession of a fentanyl-related compound of felony 5, and the forfeiture specification. And then at the time of sentencing, the remaining counts would be dismissed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, before I accept your guilty plea, I need to determine that you know and understand the constitutional rights you'll be waiving, the consequences of your guilty plea, and the maximum penalty I could give you. And I need to be satisfied that your guilty plea is being made freely, knowingly, and voluntarily. So I'm going to ask you questions. If you don't understand the question or you want to talk to Mr. Marinick some more, let me know and I'll give you more time. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a constitutional right to have a trial either to me or to a jury of 12 Lake County citizens. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to a jury trial, all 12 members must agree to a guilty verdict before you can be found guilty. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, the prosecutor will call witnesses to testify against you. Do you understand the prosecutor must prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
After those witnesses are done testifying for the prosecutor, you have the constitutional right to have your lawyer cross-examine those witnesses. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, you have the right to have witnesses come here and testify for you. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If those witnesses refuse to come to court, I'll issue an order that's called a subpoena to make them come and testify. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to testify at trial if you want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the constitutional right to not testify at trial if you do not want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide not to testify at trial, nobody is permitted to comment on that decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial and you're found guilty, you have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you have the constitutional right to have a lawyer represent you in the appeal. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you could not afford to hire a lawyer, one would be provided at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you're entitled to have a transcript of all the hearings in this case. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you could not afford a copy of those transcripts, they'd be given to you at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty today, you will not have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of your rights?
Do you?
Do you have
No,
any
Your Honor.
questions about any of the rights that we went over?
No, Your Honor.
Do you still want to plead guilty to these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're fully admitting your guilt to those charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand by pleading guilty to these felonies that you're voluntarily giving up your freedom for whatever period of time that I could sentence you to prison, to jail, or to community control?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the amended count one, attempted felonious assault is a felony of the third degree. It carries with it a maximum prison sentence of 36 months and a maximum fine of $10,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count six, resisting arrest, is a felony 4. It carries an 18-month maximum prison sentence and a $5,000 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Count 8, possession of a fentanyl-related compound, is a felony 5. It carries a 12-month maximum prison sentence and a $2,500 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty to the forfeiture specification to count 8, you're voluntarily giving up those items listed. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I could give you a consecutive sentence. That means one sentence after another for the separate counts. If I did that, you face a maximum prison term of 66 months and a maximum fine of $17,500. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of those penalties?
No, Your Honor.
You understand your guilty plea to count 8 may result in a driver's license suspension of between 6 months and 5 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand your felony convictions will prevent you from owning or possessing a firearm?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if a prison term is imposed in this case, that upon your release, you would be placed on post-release control for a period of at least 1 year up to a maximum of 3 years under the parole authority?
Yes, Your Honor.
The parole authority would place conditions on you. If you violated their conditions, they could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each of your violations, up to 1/2 of my sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If your violation were a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if that were to occur, the maximum prison sentence for that violation would be the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if a prison term is imposed, you are eligible for judicial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
I could place you on community control for up to 5 years instead of giving you a prison sentence, but if you violate any conditions, then I could sentence you to prison for 66 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, has anybody promised you I would be lenient on you just because you're pleading guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you what I will sentence you to in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand at the time of sentencing, I do not have to follow the recommendation of either the prosecutor or your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to consult with your counsel before pleading guilty today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have they discussed everything about your case and answered all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you satisfied with the advice they've given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entering your guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this point?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hronik, if the case went to trial, what would the evidence show?
Thank you, Your Honor. Had the case proceeded to trial, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that on August 22nd, 2023 in Eastlake, Lake County, Ohio, the defendant did knowingly and with knowledge sufficient culpability for the commission of felonious assault engaged in conduct that, if successful, would have constituted or resulted in a felonious assault. If the defendant on that same date and same location did recklessly or by force resist or interfere with his own arrest, and during the course or as a result of that resistance or interference, the defendant recklessly caused physical harm to Patrolman Van Aken, a law enforcement officer, by means of a deadly weapon. And on that same date in the same location, the defendant did knowingly obtain, possess, or use a fentanyl-related compound, which is a Schedule II controlled substance. Specifically, on August 22nd of 2023, East Lake Police responded to a report of individuals using drugs in a parking lot at the East Lake Walmart. When the defendant, who was in the driver's seat, was attempted to be removed from the vehicle, he actively resisted from Officer Van Aken, and in so resisting, put the car in reverse and fully ran over passenger of the vehicle, Jason Schreiber, who was placed behind the vehicle. When the vehicle ran over Mr. Schreiber, it also struck the East Lake Police Department's cruiser, and as Patrolman Van Aken was half in, half out of the vehicle at this time, Patrolman Van Aken hit his head on the vehicle, causing a injury to his temple. The defendant was also found to have had fentanyl-related compound on his person at the time that was sent to the crime lab and confirmed to be Schedule II fentanyl-related compound. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Marinick, anything to add to those facts?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lutkus, did you hear what Ms. Haranik said the facts would show if the case went to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are those facts true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what is your plea then to the amended count 1, attempted felonious assault, a felony 3?
Guilty, Your Honor.
What is your plea to count 6, resisting arrest, a felony 4?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And what is your plea to count 8, possession of a fentanyl-related compound, a felony 5?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And what is your plea to that forfeiture specification to count 8?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Marinick? Mr. Marinick?
Your Honor, I
Here,
really have
here.
nothing further to
No,
add.
here, take this.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry?
on paper.
Give this to
Oh, give
Mr.
me that.
Lutkus.
Mr. Gonzalez was going to present it, I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Lutkus, before I came in here, did you have a chance to review the written plea of guilty with your counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions about it?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you want to plead guilty to these charges, then you need to sign that document.
Yes, Your Honor.
Put you right here. All right, sign and date, put your signature there,
So I sign here and date.
right here.
What's the date?
25th, 4/25/24.
Your Honor, for the record, I've witnessed defense counsel and defendant sign the written plea of guilty in open court. I have signed the same document and am now handing it back to the court.
All right, Mr. Lutkus, is this your signature on this written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want me to accept your written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept the written plea of guilty. Defendant was present with counsel, advised of all of his rights, made a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver of those rights. He understands the nature of the charge, consequences of his guilty plea, and the maximum penalty. Find it to be knowing, intelligent, voluntary. Will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of the amended count 1, attempted felonious assault, a felony 3. Count 6, resisting arrest, a felony 4. Count 8, possession of a fentanyl-related compound, a felony 5, and the specification. I'm going to refer this for a pre-sentence report and a drug and alcohol evaluation, as well as victim impact statements. The sentencing will be June 4 at 10 a.m. and the bond is continued. Anything else, Ms. Haranik?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Marinick?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you.